If you're planning to buy a home in 2026, this video could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Because while many people are still chasing expensive housing markets, smart buyers are quietly moving somewhere else. Some states are becoming more affordable, creating better job opportunities, attracting thousands of new residents, and offering stronger long-term property value. Others may look attractive at first, but rising insurance costs, high property taxes, or slower economic growth could make them far more expensive than expected. So, where should you actually buy a home in 2026? Today, we're counting down the 10 best states to buy a home based on affordability, job growth, quality of life, future appreciation, and overall value for home buyers. And stay until the end, because our number one state isn't just one of America's fastest-growing housing markets, it could also be one of the smartest places to build long-term wealth over the next decade. Let's begin. If you're thinking about buying a home in 2026, this may be one of the most important videos you'll watch all year. For years, people believed that buying a home in expensive states like California or New York was the only path to building wealth. But America is changing. Millions of families are relocating, companies are expanding into new regions, and some of the fastest-growing housing markets today are no longer where most people expect them to be. The smartest home buyers aren't just looking for the cheapest house. They're looking for the best long-term value. They want strong job opportunities, growing communities, affordable living, lower taxes, and neighborhoods where their investment has the potential to grow over time. In today's video, we're counting down the 10 best states to buy a home in 2026. Our ranking is based on affordability, economic growth, employment opportunities, quality of life, population trends, and long-term real estate potential. Stay with us until the end, because our number one state continues to attract hundreds of thousands of new residents every year and could offer one of the strongest housing markets in America for years to come. Let's begin with number 10. At number 10 is Indiana. Indiana doesn't always make headlines, but that's exactly what makes it one of America's hidden real estate opportunities. For many buyers, affordability has become the biggest challenge in today's housing market. While home prices have climbed dramatically across much of the country, Indiana has remained relatively affordable compared to many neighboring states. Cities like Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and Carmel continue to attract young professionals, growing families, and retirees looking for more space without paying premium prices. The state also benefits from a diverse economy. Manufacturing remains a major employer, but healthcare, logistics, technology, and financial services continue to expand every year. That means buyers aren't simply purchasing a house, they're moving into communities with stable employment opportunities. Another advantage is Indiana's central location. Residents can easily reach Chicago, Louisville, Cincinnati, and several other major cities, making it attractive for commuters and businesses alike. Home buyers also appreciate Indiana's family-friendly suburbs, highly rated school districts in many communities, and relatively reasonable cost of living. While Indiana may not experience explosive price growth like some Sunbelt states, it offers something many buyers value even more: stability. If you're looking for an affordable place to purchase your first home or build long-term equity without stretching your budget, Indiana deserves serious consideration. Now let's move to number 9. At number 9 is Alabama. Over the past several years, Alabama has quietly become one of the South's most affordable housing markets. Many people still associate Alabama with its rural communities, but cities like Huntsville, Birmingham, and Mobile are experiencing significant economic growth. Huntsville, in particular, has transformed into one of America's fastest-growing technology and aerospace hubs. Major employers, government contractors, and research organizations continue creating thousands of high-paying jobs every year. Despite this economic expansion, home prices remain considerably lower than many other fast-growing metropolitan areas across the United States. For buyers, that's an attractive combination: affordable housing, strong employment, lower living expenses, and room for future appreciation. Families are also drawn to Alabama because they can often purchase larger homes with bigger yards at prices that would barely buy a small condominium in more expensive states. Of course, every market has trade-offs. Some rural areas experience slower growth, and certain regions remain heavily dependent on traditional industries. However, buyers focusing on growing cities like Huntsville can benefit from expanding job opportunities while still enjoying relatively affordable housing. For first-time buyers looking to maximize value, Alabama continues to stand out as one of America's strongest opportunities. Now let's continue with number 8. At number 8 is Oklahoma. If affordability is your highest priority, Oklahoma is difficult to ignore. For years, the state has maintained some of the lowest home prices in the country while continuing to attract new businesses and residents. Cities like Oklahoma City and Tulsa have invested heavily in downtown redevelopment, transportation, entertainment districts, and economic development. These improvements have made both cities increasingly attractive to young professionals and growing families. One of Oklahoma's biggest advantages is simple. Your housing dollar goes much further. Instead of settling for a small starter home, many buyers can afford spacious properties with larger lots, modern layouts, and lower monthly mortgage payments. The state's economy also continues diversifying beyond energy. Healthcare, aviation, logistics, manufacturing, and technology sectors have expanded steadily, providing greater employment stability than many people realize. Another benefit is Oklahoma's relatively low overall cost of living. Lower everyday expenses often allow homeowners to save more money, reduce financial stress, and build wealth over time. While severe weather remains something every buyer should consider, many residents believe the financial advantages far outweigh the risks. For buyers seeking affordability, space, and long-term value, Oklahoma has become one of America's most underrated housing markets. But as strong as these 3 states are, the next 7 offer even greater opportunities for homebuyers in 2026. At number 7 is Arkansas. Arkansas may not be the first state that comes to mind when people think about real estate, but for buyers looking for affordability and long-term value, it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Over the past few years, cities like Bentonville, Fayetteville, Rogers, and Springdale have experienced remarkable growth. Northwest Arkansas, in particular, has become one of the fastest-growing regions in the country thanks to major employers, expanding healthcare systems, and a rapidly growing technology sector. One of Arkansas's biggest advantages is affordability. Home prices remain well below the national average, allowing buyers to purchase larger homes with more land while keeping monthly mortgage payments manageable. For families, that's a major advantage. Instead of sacrificing space or location, many buyers can afford newer homes in safe, well-planned communities. The state's economy also continues to diversify. Retail, transportation, healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics all play important roles in creating stable employment opportunities. Arkansas also offers an outdoor lifestyle that's difficult to match. Beautiful lakes, mountains, hiking trails, and state parks attract people who want a slower pace of life without giving up modern conveniences. While wages may be slightly lower than in some larger metropolitan areas, the significantly lower cost of living often balances the equation. If your goal is finding an affordable home in a growing community with long-term potential, Arkansas deserves a closer look. Now let's move into our top 6. At number 6 is Ohio. Ohio has quietly become one of America's most balanced housing markets. Unlike states that experienced massive price spikes over the last few years, Ohio has enjoyed more stable and sustainable growth. Cities like Columbus, Cincinnati, and Cleveland continue attracting new residents because they offer something that's becoming increasingly rare in America: affordable housing combined with strong employment opportunities. Columbus, in particular, has seen tremendous investment from technology companies, healthcare organizations, financial institutions, and advanced manufacturing industries. Major infrastructure projects and business expansion continue bringing new jobs into the region, creating steady demand for housing. For home buyers, this creates an attractive environment. Prices remain relatively affordable compared to many other major cities, yet property values continue showing healthy long-term appreciation. Ohio is also known for its excellent universities, growing medical sector, professional sports teams, and family-friendly suburbs. Many first-time buyers are surprised by how much home they can afford here compared to more expensive housing markets. Whether you're purchasing your first property or looking for a place to raise a family, Ohio offers one of the strongest combinations of affordability, stability, and future growth. And now we enter the top 5. At number 5 is Georgia. Georgia has become one of the hottest real estate markets in the United States, and much of that momentum starts with Atlanta. Atlanta has evolved into one of America's largest business hubs, attracting companies from technology, finance, entertainment, healthcare, and logistics. As businesses continue expanding, thousands of new jobs are being created every year, bringing more buyers into the housing market. But Georgia offers much more than just Atlanta. Cities like Savannah, Augusta, Columbus, and Athens are also experiencing steady growth while remaining more affordable than many comparable markets across the country. One reason buyers continue choosing Georgia is its balance between opportunity and affordability. While home prices have increased over the past few years, buyers can still find excellent value compared to markets like California, New York, or Massachusetts. Georgia also offers a warm climate, excellent transportation infrastructure, one of the world's busiest airports, and easy access to both mountains and beaches. For investors, population growth remains one of the biggest reasons to watch this market closely. More residents usually mean stronger housing demand, increased business activity, and greater long-term appreciation potential. Of course, no housing market is perfect. Some areas around Atlanta have become more competitive, and buyers should carefully compare neighborhoods before making a decision. But overall, Georgia continues earning its place as one of America's strongest housing markets for 2026. And if you think Georgia is impressive, wait until you see the 4 states that ranked even higher on our list. At number 4 is Tennessee. Over the past decade, Tennessee has transformed into one of America's biggest relocation success stories. Thousands of families are moving here every month, attracted by affordable living, strong job growth, and one major financial advantage that immediately catches the attention of homebuyers. Tennessee has no state income tax. For many households, that means more money stays in their pocket every year, making homeownership significantly more affordable over the long term. Cities like Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, and even the rapidly growing suburbs around these metropolitan areas continue attracting buyers from across the country. Nashville has become far more than just the home of country music. Today, it's one of America's fastest-growing business centers, with booming healthcare, finance, technology, entertainment, and manufacturing industries. As companies continue expanding, demand for housing has remained consistently strong. While prices have increased over recent years, buyers still find far better value here than in many coastal markets. Tennessee also offers beautiful mountain scenery, excellent outdoor recreation, lower living costs, and a business-friendly environment that continues attracting employers from around the country. If you're looking for a state where economic growth and affordability still go hand in hand, Tennessee deserves to be near the top of your list. Now let's move into our top 3. At number 3 is South Carolina. Not long ago, South Carolina was often overlooked by many homebuyers. Today, it's one of the fastest-growing destinations in the entire country. Cities like Charleston, Greenville, Columbia, and Myrtle Beach continue welcoming thousands of new residents every year. One reason is simple. people are discovering they can enjoy a high quality of life without paying the extremely high housing costs found in many larger states. Charleston offers historic charm, beautiful coastal living, and a growing technology sector. Greenville has become one of the Southeast's fastest-growing manufacturing and business centers. Meanwhile, Columbia continues attracting healthcare professionals, government workers, and university graduates. Another advantage is South Carolina's relatively moderate property taxes and overall cost of living. Many buyers relocating from states like California, New Jersey, or New York are often surprised by how much larger and newer a home they can purchase with the same budget. The state also continues investing heavily in infrastructure, ports, manufacturing, and logistics, helping create thousands of new employment opportunities. For retirees, families, and remote workers alike, South Carolina offers an attractive combination of affordability, lifestyle, and future appreciation. And now we arrive at our runner-up. At number 2 is North Carolina. If there's one state that consistently appears near the top of almost every relocation report, it's North Carolina. Over the past several years, it has become one of America's most desirable places to buy a home. The reason isn't just affordable housing, it's opportunity. Charlotte has grown into one of the country's largest banking and financial centers. Raleigh and Durham continue expanding as part of the famous Research Triangle, attracting technology companies, biotech firms, universities, and high-paying employers from around the world. This strong economy creates something every housing market needs: stable demand. When people continue moving into a state for better careers, housing values often remain stronger over the long term. North Carolina also offers something many buyers appreciate: choice. Whether you prefer mountain living near Asheville, suburban communities around Raleigh, or coastal towns along the Atlantic Ocean, the state provides options for almost every lifestyle. Compared to many expensive housing markets, buyers still receive excellent value for their money while enjoying one of America's strongest job markets. It's no surprise that thousands of families continue choosing North Carolina as their new home every single month. But despite everything North Carolina has to offer, one state continues outperforming them all in 2026. And that brings us to our number 1 pick. At number 1 is Texas. For years, Texas has remained one of the strongest real estate markets in the United States, and in 2026, it continues to earn that reputation. Unlike many states where rising home prices have pushed buyers out of the market, Texas still offers an impressive combination of economic opportunity, population growth, and housing availability. Cities like Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Fort Worth continue attracting hundreds of thousands of new residents every year. Even with strong demand, builders have continued developing new communities across the state, helping keep housing supply healthier than many other parts of the country. One of the biggest reasons buyers continue choosing Texas is its powerful economy. If Texas were its own country, it would rank among the largest economies in the world. Major industries including technology, healthcare, energy, finance, manufacturing, aerospace, and logistics continue creating thousands of new jobs every single month. Large companies continue expanding their operations throughout Texas because of its business-friendly environment and skilled workforce. For homebuyers, that's incredibly important. Strong job markets often support long-term housing demand, helping protect property values even during slower economic periods. Texas also offers tremendous lifestyle flexibility. Whether you're looking for a fast-growing city like Dallas, the energy industry in Houston, military communities around San Antonio, or family-friendly suburbs surrounding Fort Worth, buyers have an incredible range of choices. Another advantage is value. Compared to many coastal states, buyers can often purchase significantly larger homes for the same budget. For growing families, that's a major financial advantage. Of course, every market has challenges. Property taxes can be higher in certain areas, and some regions have experienced rising homeowners insurance costs. That's why choosing the right city and neighborhood remains just as important as choosing the right state. But when you consider affordability, job creation, economic strength, future development, and long-term demand, Texas continues to stand above the competition. That's why it earns our #1 spot as the best state to buy a home in 2026. But here's something many buyers overlook. There is no perfect state. The best place to buy a home ultimately depends on your career, your budget, your lifestyle, and your long-term goals. Some families will value affordability above everything else. Others may prioritize better schools, higher salaries, or warmer weather. That's why it's so important to research each market carefully before making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. The good news is that America still offers incredible opportunities for homebuyers who are willing to look beyond the most expensive housing markets. As more companies relocate, new industries emerge, and populations continue shifting across the country. Today's overlooked cities could become tomorrow's hottest real estate markets. Buying the right home isn't just about finding a place to live. It's about investing in your future. If you found this ranking helpful, let us know in the comments which state you think deserves the #1 spot. Would you choose Texas, North Carolina, Tennessee, or somewhere else entirely? We'd love to hear your opinion. And if you're planning to buy a home, relocate, or invest in real estate, make sure to subscribe because every week we bring you the latest housing market trends, real estate insights, and home buying strategies to help you make smarter financial decisions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.